Hey guys, welcome back to World End Economica episode 2. We really are getting into the meat of the story now. Eleanor's dreams have been crushed. And now we've got the fallout, the reactions, the last ditch measures. Let's see if we can turn it around. Excuse me. Fudce actually flung herself into a bathroom. I didn't call out to her, assuming she'd return soon. She should have just let it all out. Just as she had done everything she could. That's what I thought as I looked at the TV. The special feature, arbitrarily labelled "The Fallen Guardian of a Deity of a People," ended, and the report on the energy crisis played as though it was just an intermission piece. There was no change here either, with the front of Avalon's headquarters still crowded with people. But something seemed different from the last few days, so I paid close attention to the video. What could it be? As I wondered that, the video switched to a close-up part of the crowd. Then as it showed someone in profile waving his arms around, leading the people, the video became a still image. It was like an old Baroque painting with his mouth stretched wide open, as though he was roaring and his fist clenched with all his might. Interesting. Who was that guy? I felt as if I'd seen that face before. A still frame was enlarged even further, reticulated out beneath it. Presidential candidate Fidel Gazaniga, the young politician that cried out for a people. I remembered it had been made a laughingstock when he made an appeal to give a housing to all lunar immigrants. But what surprised me was that he wasn't making the rounds here, not that at all. It was because I recalled my conversation with Eleanor. Someone impassioned with a loud voice who had people's attention could believe that his foolish dream was all that foolish. That's why he couldn't raise his fists against a mega conglomerate with such fury. I was at a loss for words with how stupid I was. I'd been so shocked when revising Chris's program when she focused so hard on a single number, but she missed a big picture, yet I myself had seen nothing. Even as I brooded over suspicious sales, I believed with such triumphant airs, looking at things at reverse. Yet I had missed something so simple as this. Susie Wood died. There was no other analyst that could take her place. But that wasn't the problem. Striking down Avalon was for sake of justice. There's more than one fool on the moon with a screw loose fighting for justice. Ooh, that music. I stood up from my chair, knocking over my coffee cup onto the floor and shattering it. That didn't matter to me. Without caught using my cane, I dragged my foot along, reaching a door connecting to a bathroom, as if I were diving for it. When I pulled the door open with a loud knocking, Eleanor, who'd been wiping her tears, looked at me stunned. Eleanor. Yes? Please get ready. Haru? I spoke words I would like to never would touch her again. There may actually be a god. I looked back at her TV. It was listening to all the battles that Fidel Gazanga, a politician who cried out for people, had fought up until now. The image on screen has showed him climbing in front of a flagpole in front of Avalon's headquarters, yelling something to a people. Susie Wu certainly paled in comparison to that intensity. I put it on my hand. Ellen looked at me. Come with me. Ellen took my hand, tucked the hem of her skirt, and dashed out. Ellen's methodology after deciding what needed to be done was magnificent. It was a matter of taking the proper lines to reach a proper course to proper locations. For example, while when skimming through her phone book to reach Fidel's office, she enlisted Legoff's to do so without hesitation. Seeing I contacted his office on terror, the true power of European nobles with 500-year history could well lie in her connections. He's not been taken into custody, he'll meet us shortly. She said that, holding the receiver in one hand. For a moment I wasn't sure what she meant by that. When Eleanor pointed to a monitor, I saw that he was being pulled down from a flagpole by a security guard. It appears the police were taking notice of him now. I know I was the one who brought this up, but are you sure he's the right person? I certainly do wonder which dream is bolder. In the face of that comment, I could do nothing but hang my head. After that, Eleanor said swinging the phone, and ended the call. We can keep on going forward. I'm not sure if we can reach our destination though. When I said that, Eleanor shook her head. No, I'm done with that. Haru, you came to where I was, someone who reached a hand out to me. It was enough that someone believes in me. Of course, I'm gambling everything on Fidel Gazaniga cooperating with us. There are things we still need to do and make that happen. She had just about as much impact as Susie Wu when she shook out her chest, even without doing her hair up and padding her bra. Meaning? When I asked, Eleanor gave a wry smile. She pointed to restored notes. If there's anything else, there really is something I wanted to go over once again. A 40 billion more deficit. I wish to avoid the remorse of someone uncovering it later, and wonder why it didn't see for themselves. It's somewhat perplexing. Would you? She asked me just then. It felt to me like Eleanor's usual coyness. Only until my contract is up. She gave a girlish and a smile at my reply. I look forward to working with you. When she settled in, poring over data and pages, exchanging thoughts, examining the data, when ideas came up. Ideas like confronting them with false accounts of sales for vacant generation stations, was how our non-existent generators haven't been producing energy they should, thus pushing prices up. With that in mind, it was easy to see how I could keep making such huge profits on the energy trade market. That'd be because Avalon knows exactly how much they lie about the energy they produce, so I should just have as much more detailed information about energy demand than any of their clients. Gambles were, in all, about having more invisible information than anyone else. The huge profit was directly proportional to the size of their gamble. I was probably very concentrated on this conversation when I came back to my senses. I realised a cup I'd knocked over was shattered earlier, had been cleaned up. Then, when the sun started to set, the chill of an evening began to creep in, a call came from Fidel. Eleanor had taken a call from Le Goff, giving courteous greeting and informed him that we were on our way to his office. Her face, after ending the call, was truly impassioned. Let us be off. She left the room, holding the torn pages dearly in her arms. I followed her and saw Le Goff in the entry hall, awaiting her stoically. Master and servant, traditional formalities. She had come this far to protect her reputation. As I gazed upon the two of them, and added a sigh of awestruck observation. There is a driver waiting, so let us descend. With a placid smile, Eleanor turned back towards me. It felt as though we were heading off to the opera. The concept of pleasant stress existed. That must be in it. I thought as I prepared to enter the elevator after Eleanor. Just then, I got an incoming call on my tablet. A call? My tablet screen showed an unfamiliar number. I exchanged glances with Le Goff and Eleanor as they waited in the elevator. We'll go on ahead and have a driver wait. I pressed accept and switched to caller mode. Hello? I called out, throwing caution to the wind. The voice on the other end of the line made me feel as though the world was reverberating. Hey. Long time no see. A low, powerful baritone. God. Is that Pratt? I stood upright. Been about 4 years. It was a call from Barton Clodwisen. I was really wanting this call. Is this a good time? He had such an overwhelming power, but it wasn't threatening because he was so sociable. My feelings were so mixed upon hearing that strong, confident voice. It was almost like the voice of an uncle, but I couldn't think of what to say. Well, I understand you're busy. I've taken Zinga's place. Why? Didn't... what? Ha! Forget my trading style. Make sure to always respect my investment choices. To that end, I've been binoculars in hand at times to spy an exclusive executive dining hall that shouldn't even exist, remember? Tailing or wiretapping. I've known for quite a while that little Schweitzer girl was up to something interesting. That whole vulgar set of Border Securities Exchange Commission was all Kevin acting on his own authority. Having Howard Brough make that fake bank account, I mean. I suppose the same. The guys at Platinum Spiff had even pride or shame. Didn't figure to weigh their tail so easily. I don't want to be grouped with him, so I'm excusing myself from a mess. You're... Actually, I did make you out to Avalon Trading Forum. You came to scope it out, didn't you? Well, you took me back. Botsman. Forgot about Mr. Lozenges, actually. It was nostalgic. I wonder what Risa would think if I told her. I was pretty happy being told that. At the same time, I got a bad premonition. A guy with a trading style like yours mixed up with a horde of lemmings was just too bizarre. So put up a bit of effort digging around. Turns out you're up to some interesting stuff. Your relationships are pretty mysterious, wouldn't you agree, mister? I suppose going out buying stocks from the elevator on the way out to a company tour. But I was certainly heading on en masse to jump off a cliff to the ocean. Just as said hordes of lemmings did. Unthinkingly, they didn't even decide for themselves, just blindingly did as they were told. I wasn't one of them. I hated myself for how pleased I felt being in that kind of rating. Which is a guy who forward us after all. Yet I only blame myself. No point in dragging this out. I was going to get right to a point. You want me to back off? You were kind to do that on command. I'd have sent some muscle your way. You've got a few beautiful defenceless girls around you. Get my drift? My hand trembled. Blood rushed to my head. That just ended up being the opposite effect. You never go up if a Schweitzer girl is the same. Dirty would never work. My aesthetics wouldn't allow that anyway. So far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter whether it doesn't lose. I guess you consider that fortunate since I'm pretty sure my aesthetics and your guys are about the same. Took a deep breath, still clenching my teeth. And Barton caused that stirring in my soul, making it difficult for me to articulate. And simply because what he said seemed believable for some reason. You guys are just moving forward with your beliefs. I'm moving forward in mine. I know it must sound pretty messed up, but coming from a right-hand man of a scam company, we feel about you just as you feel about us. We really want to take down Emerald Industries. To that end, we just can't help but play dirty. What we're against is just too big. That's... Since you're living on the moon, it's the company you should be watching out for. Bit of advice for you. When he said that in a mocking tone, it sounded like a momentary lapse in honesty, an attempt to conceal his embarrassment. Avalon's corporate manner. Taking down Emerald Industries? They were serious about it. On another matter, are you really going over to Gazinaka's place with little Miss Schweitzer? Is that a question? Yeah, simple question. Just because I thought it a bit unexpected. It could be that you just have no idea what you're doing. His discouraging way of speaking made it feel like something icy was fitting my stomach. My heart was racing painfully fast, so that my hands were clammy. I knew a sensation some time long ago. I experienced it. Yes. This is exactly when Barton tried to knock me into that trap. The sensation was the same as that time. You still the same as 4 years ago? My heart raced. I blurted out a shout. No! Lies. You're about to make the same screw up. Think hard. You're walking on a razor's edge again without knowing this. This is my plea. It's also a warning. Please don't waste my dream. But if you're fighting head on, I'll face you down, and this time, it won't be all fun and games if you don't watch out. I could hear Barton's low voice coming through the receiver. Next time, you're really going to die. I swallowed hard, unable to speak. Say something and say something, say something. I stared myself with his plea. Could this have been psychological warfare from Barton? A strategy to get me once again leave a decision to him, abandon my ideas, and become another lemming? I remembered Barton's face on 4 years ago. Yeah. There was something I wanted to ask Barton. That time 4 years ago, the conversation at the cafe. It was right exactly like the conversation at that time. I wanted to make sure of something. That man was Barton. Or if not, the man who appeared to be Barton. I wanted a clear picture of that stock. There was one thing I needed to confirm. From what you're telling me, I can't tell what's true or a lie. That's unfortunate, but... However... I interrupted Barton in quiet, spoken word by word, as if in a language I had just learned. There's one thing I wish to ask. Alright, let's hear it. 4 years ago, in that cafe. Were you not actually trying to trick me? If they asked Risa, Sorrow, or Chris, or anyone else, I'm sure they'd doubt what they were hearing. But that's all I could believe. I couldn't imagine Barton thinking he was able to trick me. Silence fell on the other end of the line for a moment. Next thing I heard was laughter. That's a hell of a question. Even after sinking all your cash into a cache of people you're trying to protect, acting if I wasn't actually trying to trick you. I wonder if maybe you were simply disappointed. When I said that quietly, Barton suddenly lowered his voice. It was almost as if I could see Barton's face when we went into a line. Business is business. Business is all about sizing up a world worth the other. So if you screw up your estimation, you can sink everything into your failure. As always, do it. If that's the worth of your opponent, then it becomes your worth as well. Barton sighed detectively and spoke. I was sold on your skills. When I called the church during a settlement, I was truly dismayed. I'm not sure if you can believe that. I can. I think most of all, I couldn't forgive myself for betraying so many people's expectations, yours included. Ha, so what? What are you going to do after dragging your leg around for 4 years? I'm headed right where you are. Oh? Using my brain to its fullest, following my beliefs and making my own decisions. I look forward to that. Make sure you don't lose your way. Same to you. Well said. He chuckled as he ended up about hanging up. I placed my hand on my forehead, slumping in my shoulder into the elevator wall as if overcome by dizziness. My breathing had sped up painfully, but my mind was burning up inside. Was Barton's warning truly a warning, or another trap? I thought to myself, but it occurred to me right away. Really, after saying all that to me, Barton certainly wouldn't think I'd simply stop and give up that easily, so it couldn't be a trap. Barton hadn't even tried to trick me for 4 years. But I became terrified because it couldn't be a trap. I'm walking on a razor's edge again? Barton believed, knowing that would give me pause. And he warned me that if I didn't watch out, I could really die this time. But what was all that? What was I missing here? Saying he'd send some muscle, that was probably unlikely. I could believe Barton. At the very least, I believe that if he watched what he intended to do, he had plenty of opportunities to do so. He could just popped a hole in our window with some long-range ballistics while we were floating around in a spaceship. He could have just passed it off as an accident. If that was so, then it was more about his side. There was something I needed to realise, something would apparently give us a pause after we chased after Avalon with our immature sense of justice. But I hadn't the faintest idea, not even remotely. Was it something in our materials, something I couldn't have obviously noticed? Was something so great that we couldn't understand it, even after how much we'd thought things over? Another phone call. From Chris. Chris? I think it's probably a good point to stop this episode, actually. This episode was very much about Barton, it seems. That's the name we didn't want to come back. But join me next time when we speak to Chris. Bye-bye.